Hey everybody, it's Marty the JavaScript Party. It is 12:20 on May 16th, Saturday. My favorite day of the week, for sure. Always get to do a couple hours of fun coding, and all that. We just finished a freaking crazy ass thing where we got this working for my 3JS project, and now I need to change gears and start working on, I believe, the Say Hello project. So let's go ahead and do that. Um, and then let's go to our Say Hello. And then let's type in npm start as soon as it comes up. Actually, I need to navigate into Say Hello. As you can see, I've done a really good job of sort of planning things out because that was kind of, I believe it's called, what did I name this thing? Oh, Say Hello. All right. Now, oh, why do I keep doing that? CD, Say Hello. Now, npm start. Let's see if my YouTube video ever got going. Yeah, it's still. The last video was like over an hour, like it was like an hour and 30 minutes. Here
Good
we go.
morning, everybody. It's Marty
There
the
you
JavaScript
are.
Party. My buddy
There I am.
Brett. I have a walnut for her. I did a pretty good job.
All right, so close that. I guess yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll leave it open. Anyways, okay, so let's try this. Let's go to voice. Now, if you're anything like me, you have to do stand up every day. And when you go to stand up, if you use Teams, and this was like only a Teams issue, we never had, when we had Ring Central, we had lots of issues with Ring Central, but one of them was it wasn't um, that the voice would just like literally you hit say I want to talk, and then it will act like you're talking, but no one can hear you. And then um, and it's very it's I've noticed that it seems to have a very traumatic effect on people, like when they're not sure if when they're talking. I've also noticed that if I come to this page, I like email.com voice API, which is an application I built so that I could understand how to integrate like Angular applications with the voice API. That this, if it works here, it works. So you can validate whether your microphone is working pretty easily because you can go like this. Hello world. And then you can see that there was four that definitely heard and it was able to do that. This also has like logs, and we can see that we got these logs. And then when we got down here, like we got the speech start, and then it got sent, whatever. Then we got a result back, and then we got a speech end and a sound end and audio end. Right, which is weird because it really feels like this should be after the end, right? Because we're done. So, but for some reason, it comes in right in the middle. So that's an interesting thing. I would never have thought that. I would have thought that the result, because the result has to get sent off to the cloud, and so this sends a result off to the cloud, and then the cloud solves it. Well, we don't get that. I mean, so it's weird that but like this it should be done, especially on discrete by then. But anyway, so that's one issue. Um, the main reason I did this was because this is considered a non um, this is the API is not done. The specification for the API is still up in the air. Now, about 2 weeks ago, when we go to here to Edge, it stopped working. Just like out of nowhere, it just quit working, which was wild. It really blew my mind. Um, so if I go here, that was wild. So we were on logs apparently. And there was no real change to the API. I mean, there's one thing that I don't support called phrases, but I don't have it there. So discrete and then hello world. See nothing. We don't get anything back. And if you go to the logs, you can see that we got this thing called, and where we were getting responses before, we get network error. So it never, there was some sort of network error. Now it will work for me if I'm on the VPN at my job, and I work for a government agency, so um, I don't know if we're considered government agency, but I definitely work for the government. So when I'm on the VPN, I'm on a government network, and it works perfectly on the government network, but it doesn't work on either Verizon or AT&T regular network that's not on the not on the VPN. Either one of them work fine if it's on the VPN. Um, but if I'm not on the VPN, it won't work. So I'm thinking that somebody in the government probably has an SLA, service level agreement, um, with Microsoft. And so they kept that, but as far as I could tell, it looks like they turned off the cloud. Now, that is the reality, right? Because Google could do that at any moment, and then this technology is useless. Um, so, do with that what you will. But anyway, so what we're trying to build here is a say hello thing so that you go like this and you go, um, hello. And then when it sees that you said hello and that matches, that it gives you like a little green mark. And then you could do one for Spanish, hola, and then you could do that. So that's the goal. And honestly, like I don't know how I would even explain that if I didn't have this tool. So it took me a year to build the tool. Then after a year, I can use the tool to kind of prototype what I want to do. And it's easy to explain what we're doing. Um, so anyways, if I go to my local host, I've got a lot of good stuff done already. I think it looks nice too. So yeah, so we have it. It defaults to English and US, and we want to say we have this. It looks nice, I think, and we start hello, and so we even have a little match found. Hola. See, no match found. So okay, so we want to add like a little input, right? So we have so let's look at our current component architecture. All right. So we got an execution panel and a result panel. So I'm guessing, I don't know where the results panel lives. We also have our app. So let's go look at our app. All right. So here's our execution panel. Here's our results panel. And then I guess we want like an input panel, right? Like we want, so this is our execution panel, and this has our microphone in it. This is our results panel. It has our results in it. Does the results panel, question, is that the one, is that who checks to see if there's a match? Yeah, and that's who actually knows what we're trying to match. So it makes sense that the results panel would have the override. So let's do this results panel. All right, so let's go ahead and actually make these vertical. I feel like the results probably should go ahead of the app, I think. and it should be like they should both be block. Right now it looks like they're inline. Probably inline block would be my guess. I don't know for sure though. So that's pretty cool that it didn't get rid of anything. All right, so if we look at this element style and we look at the computed, um, display is inline. Okay, so it's just inline. So we want both of these to be block, I think. So that they're in their own row. So they have their own row. That's what we're trying to accomplish here. Right, so I think we can go like this, Control V, and then display block. Blocky. Blake. All right. So now we're doing that. So this would be where in the results would be, I would think, where we'd want to put our input box. So this is our result. So it kind of feels like we want to put this like in a table, but I don't know if we want to put it in an Angular material table. I think we just want to put it in our own little table. So let's go ahead and do that. And the table, well, I don't know. I was gonna say the table would be blocked, so we didn't need to make it block, but actually I think it works better if we do that. So, and I'm just gonna put a TR, and for now, I don't know, we might do more, but TD, eh, TH, TH, and then matching. I had the weirdest conversation at work with a business analyst where the business analyst had written up a bunch of requirements on something to build. And it was really high profile, real important, real important. That's why I love my job because I get to do real important things. Um, and so I read the things. I built it out. It was neat. It was a little different than kind of like anything else we've done before, but it was, what I thought we were doing. Matching. I guess all we have is the uh, what is it? So matching and then herd. I don't know if that's going to work over time. And then and non-breaking space. So in the first column, we're going to have the word whatever we're trying to match, and that's going to be in an input. But for now, I'm just going to say TD. I'm just going to put text in there. Hello. And then TD. This. Actually, we need the interpolation. I like that word a lot, and sometimes I can remember it. It's like right at the tip of my tongue, and sometimes I'm like, I get confused between that and what we used to have to do in trigonometry. Is that also? I think that might have actually been called interpolation as well. Um, and then for x, and I think what happens is you end up with something. I almost feel like you should start off. Let's try this. Can I do else? I almost feel like we need an at. I think we need an at in front of the. Yeah, it looks like that worked. So we're saying if it's hello, um, so I guess what we want to do, well, yeah, I don't know. It seems like what we want it like if it's blank, if it's empty, then we want it. I wonder, is there else if? So we're saying, can I just do this? So if it's empty, then we want to say listening, uh, ready. We'll call it ready. And then else. And then it's going to be no match. Okay, so right now it's, oh, okay, because it still has Ola. So let's see if we could start from scratch. Okay, so it feels like actually this one should go first. And I think this should be looking for, and we're not looking, we're listening for. And then there we go. And then we'll have this ready. Okay, so kind of would love to have um, better thing, but let's see. So I think I have matte icons in here. Do I have matte icons in this result? I do not. Um, but okay, let's just get it working first, and then maybe next week we'll. Well, what did I say in my README? Okay, set up an input to add a word to listen for. All right, but basically ready, and it says we're listening for, and we heard hello, match found. Yeah, so hello and hello. Hi. And so this is kind of a bummer because I know I want to have more than one. Oh, okay. Actually, this would be a good training, right? Because we could have this and then have like a second one, and then some of them match and some of them don't. So you can be looking for the one, and then one of them has its own input. Ah, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. So you have to have faith in yourself. You have to have faith that you'll find. And see, that's kind of cool because I have it in there. All right, so let's go ahead and add our own. Actually, what we'll do is we'll do this. And I'm gonna gold plate this a little bit. Hi. So this one is looking for hi, not hello. And then we have this hi. Oh, that's funny. Match found, no match found. Hello. Hola. Hey, so now we could even add a third one. And this is a brand new idea, right? I think this is a great idea though. Hey, and then hey. That is absolutely incredible that this version of Angular will update like this. That is freaking mind blowing. Incredible. Bravo. Bravo, Angular team. Um, that is incredible. Like, you guys blew my mind. Okay, and then the very last one, and I actually have been wondering how I'm going to do that, and I'm probably going to want like a description of this version of the word, saying, hey, this is the, and everything's going to be English based. Um, I'm so glad that that has ended. Okay, so listening for is this one, right? And we're definitely going to want to pretty this up and put type. And I think I want it to be a type of text. Is that right? Yeah, I think it's text. And then I don't know what happens when we do that. Let's see. That looks good. And then we want to key up. So there's a bunch of different. Let's see. Update match. I think I can just say, I can't ever remember. I think it's, and I think that's just going to give me the letter, not the whole thing, but I don't know. Let's go look. Look, 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 look. That was one thing that, like, when I was imagining what takes place. Okay, actually, let's make this a value. I think I can just, here's where I definitely like to put these on multiple lines. Man, our at where I work, this is starting to become like a battleground is value. Like some people really like this vertical thing. And I think most of them like the vertical thing because like we don't when we're in the office we don't really have really good monitors. Um, I mean monitors, is like one of those things where it's like every year it's just relentless, the change, the monitor technology. So I don't know what this event is. Um, Update match, and then event, and I'm just gonna call it a string for the moment. I don't know if it probably is not a string, but and then console. I don't know what just happened. Console.log. Now, would I, if I was a manager or director or someplace, would I want to build out a voice-driven API using this technology? Absolutely not. Not in a million years, unless we absolutely just desperately needed some sort of solution for a very short amount of time. But man, I'm telling you, no one is, even if they said, oh yeah, we only need this for a short amount of time, um, even if that is the case, they will not remember that when it goes sideways. All right, so what I'm looking for is to see what we get from our keyboard event. Oops. Hi there. All right, so our keyboard event has some stuff in it, and I'm assuming that one of those is probably a value. Well, it has a source element, so it doesn't give you the whole value directly, but it does give you a target, which is of type input, and that probably has a value. And of course, it's always this one there, value. Yeah. So what we want to do is we want to create a type constant. This is an input type. See, the keyboard can go up and down in lots of different places. And so keyboard event doesn't necessarily have an input, isn't necessarily part of a form input. So const input is equal to, I think it's HTML input element is equal to event dot target. And I believe we have to force it as HTML input element. Sometimes, and I'm not exactly clear when, but sometimes you have to say as unknown and then as input HTML input element, and then sometimes you can just say as HTML input. But so an HTML input has a value. So comma input dot value. I can't even tell you how many hours and hours and hours I spent learning to understand that. And to be clear, had I spent if when I needed to learn how to do that, if I had been able to just use ChatGPT, I probably could have got it done, the task done that was assigned to me in like a tenth, maybe even 100th the time. But since I had to do it the way I did it, I now only spend um, or I can remember it, and it takes me a second. I don't have to go ask ChatGPT, um, and that is just the reality we all live with. All right, so now I don't know why we didn't. I thought we. Oh, input value. Oh, and that looked good. Okay, so that's the input value. So that's working perfect. Okay, so now we want to take our input value. We want to make it our hello text. Is equal to. Now, I don't know exactly, like it's weird. Okay, so I'm setting the hello text equal to input value. Hello text is currently hello. So if I bind it, will I get some kind of weird, it seems like I should get some sort of weird, like feedback loop, right? Like an infinite thing. So I put that in brackets, right? So as I make a change, okay, so now the match should happen if it's equal to hello text. And I don't know if, yeah, I guess I can just do that. If it's black and if it's something else. So now in theory, I can say hello. So that is interesting to me that the Okay, let's try this. Okay, I don't understand why it's not redrawing now. So is hello text blank? It shouldn't be blank. Okay, hello text apparently is blank. Hello text. What about? Okay, this is weird. All right, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? Oh, yeah, it's not inside that. The signal is blank, so it is ready. Okay, now, hello. Now, hello. Okay, so now it's working. Okay, hi there. Hi there. So as you see, we got our match found. Yeah, so it's working perfect, and we actually did a few extra things. Okay, so I don't think I want this. And then I think I wanted to, I don't know when I wanted to like design the table to look nice. But and then so but we do so we definitely need to turn these from like text to icons. And then we need to listening for um and then heard. Hi there. I'm wondering if this even needs to be like a like a doesn't feel like it should be a column. It feels like it should be like its own row up top because it's like just the same thing over and over again. But anyways, let's see. Let's go back to our README. So we definitely did that. Control plus check. And then let's add another thing. 7. Clean up the redesign the table to look nice. I'm always like, I wonder if I should, I probably should do a mat table because the mat tables just look so nice. And then just, yeah, probably redesign it. Yeah, we'll probably do like a mat table with the icons in there and the everything. And I think it'll look a lot nicer and we'll just have it driven based on like an array. But I don't think any of that needs to be done. It's like set up say hello voice API interfaces. Um, but it's just like I feel like we're right at the end here, right? Like we if once we set it up to be driven through like data and then probably want to have like a JSON that it reads from that I can just upload somewhere that I can just FTP the JSON with with everything in it. And then so the question, I guess what happens is like these JSONs probably should live like in a public folder, like in this folder here, and they should probably be named they should probably be like, yeah, I guess they should be like named um like in a folder called EN and another folder called US and then has all the stuff in there. Because I don't want to have one massive like I'm giving myself the benefit of the doubt and assuming that I will have hundreds of I'm not just gonna once I get this working, I'm not just gonna give up on it. That I'll like spend a few minutes every week adding a couple more entries, whether it'll be another whole nother language, another like route that we're doing. But so like the general idea is that like if I and I don't even know, I think I have it working, right? Like if um I don't know actually, now that I think about it. Well, okay. Like I don't okay, so let's go look at the services, the routing service. The routing service will give out the signals but doesn't set up the locale and all that. And then this guy, I believe, I don't think he's just I think he actually sets it up based on the language. Yeah, he actually sets up the region and the language and everything. So when I set up the recognition, false. So I don't know. Do I ever actually set the language in my setup recognition? Do I use this anywhere? Where do I use this thing? This dot language routing service. This routing service language. So I see where I like communicate it, but I don't know that I actually set up the locale. Okay, this locale. Okay, so this is where I set up the value, but do I ever set it to the, I don't ever set it. Doesn't look like I ever set it to the actual recognition. Um, I don't even know how you set up a locale in the voice API. You set up the locale. Lang, ENUS. So it should be lang. See, it doesn't look like I do anywhere. Yeah, and that's going to be equal to this dot locale, which is a signal. And I've never actually tried to use a signal in the same place that I created. Doesn't can't see why that would be a problem. So if I do this, right? Konnichiwa. Yeah, see, it's like this, but it's not really a match, right? Now I could take this and match it in English, right? Konnichiwa. And see, now it found a match. Actually, oh, interesting. All right. So then we want to um, What is it? J JP. Okay, what is the locale for Japanese? Oh, here we go. JAJP. Konnichiwa. That is, it is so weird to me that did it. Maybe it didn't. Okay, let's go back to here. And this is why I omitted this thing. Voice. Discrete. Konnichiwa. And then if I change this to Japanese, Japan. Oh, I could have just looked here. This would have been good. Konnichiwa. And see how this is like that because it's JAJP. JAJP. I'm curious. Maybe it's case sensitive. The language case sensitive. Case sensitive. Okay. Taste. Okay, so it's weird. Okay, so I guess I need to look at the locale because it doesn't feel like we're getting like over here when we went JSJP, it returned text like this, but see, we're a JAJP and it is not. And I'm a bit confused by that. Let's see, F12, see if there's any errors. Nope. This is in the surface. So let's come over here. Maybe the setup was Konnichiwa. Okay, we're not even getting over here for some reason. So setup, oh, setup probably happened on load on. All right, what is our language? Oh, the language is blank. It's because the locale doesn't work. And so I actually probably, okay, so I probably at the beginning of start record, I should probably set up the recognition, which I don't think is any kind of problem at all. Like, but basically, um, I don't think there's any problem with setting up the recognition, um, right before you use it. I think that is actually typically how it is done. And again, I just gotta, just because I spent so much time working on this voice analyzer, there's so much like that saved a lot of time today. Um, ko- Konishiwa. There we go. That's what we're looking for. Okay, what is, so what I can do, theoretically, what I can do is this. Konishiwa. Did it not work? It did not work. Hello, Konnichiwa. Okay, it's weird that they didn't. It's weird that this isn't changing at all. They're saying ready, even though it's don't. I don't think it's blank. So 105. So I still. I mean, I promised my wife I'd be done by 1:30, so we can go see a movie. I think we're either going to see Sheep Detective or Project Hail Mary. One of those two movies seems like something we would enjoy. We haven't been to the movies in a while. She just really enjoys the popcorn and the soda and all that stuff. All right. So why do we have problems here? I don't understand why this isn't working at all inside of our results panel because hello text is our what is our hello text? Well, this is our hello text, right? No. Mm, 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 mm. It's weird because ready means that the signal is blank. All right, so you're doing it again. You're doing it to me again. And then I'm going to put an S for start here and an E for end here. Okay, so we got nothing. It doesn't have anything. Konnichiwa. It's weird, right? That's really, really weird. Do I listen? I think I have an effect in here. Do I have an effect? No. Pain in the butt. All right, effect. Oh, constructor. And then effect. I have this sort of internal rule that says like if uh if if every 3 years I don't get to the point where I'm writing some kind of code that me from 3 years ago, EFG, um, wouldn't understand, right? Like, so 3 years ago, there's no way I could have done anything with these effects. Now I can just type them out. It's just super easy. Um, okay, current value. Cool. So I don't really remember. I think it's SH version. This Mm, voice result signal? And just see if this is a string. I believe it's a string. Yeah. So I'm going to just print out the current value. Okay, so current value is empty. As everybody agrees, there's nothing here. Konnichiwa. So we definitely have a current value, but for some strange reason, that current value is not showing up here. Yeah, between normalized. Oh, normalized. Normalized. Okay, so this is different. Okay, let's try normalized. Normalized. Wonder if something weird's going on in the. Oh, I bet you I'm getting rid of anything that's not like an English. I bet you anything that's not like an English character is getting removed by whatever is doing this normalization. Konnichiwa. So yeah, so the second value doesn't come in. So let's see what normalized does. Yep. All right. So I have this function and it is removing Japanese characters. I don't, I'm sure it's gonna be like, yeah, of course it is. Somehow, I've never been great at regular expressions. I think that's supposed to be. Okay, so instead use Unicode property escapes. Unicode, unicorn, Unicode. But without the U flag. So apparently there's a U flag in here. Most world languages. So this was something I did not at all expect to be an issue. And I would imagine this is going to come back and bite me in the butt later for some other thing, but it's going to be so much easier to figure that out when I have the problem. Um, so what languages would this not work with? Mm, okay, emojis. Okay, that's fine. Okay, that's fine. Uh-oh. So I'll probably have to write some extra. Okay, so there are some languages will fail because of this. Okay, so this is, so I have this code. I added a comment to help my future self. Let's see if it can give me a better comment. It probably will. Overstates the problem. That will probably mislead you in the future. Okay, well, so I'm working on a voice application that matches words. Words. I didn't give it quite enough. But your current approach is still a bit noise function filter. Normalize the cases. All right, so I figured that would work. Oh, breakages. This is they present. But I want to save my future self. Steps in debugging. Oh. God, why does it have to be so freaking nanny-ish? Okay, just give me a fucking... Okay. God, ChatGPT really knows how to piss me off. Um, okay, normalized voice for matching lowercase text. Note this strips punctuation and formatting, including sentence boundaries. Okay, this didn't help. That, okay. That absolutely would leave me more confused in the future. The future. Okay. You saying that this won't will work. Languages for matching simple words like hello or so maybe the problem is it was thinking I was trying to do something. Oh, okay. Okay. That was so freaking weird. All right, so supposedly this will work now. So I can copy this. Uh, Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa. It's still removing them all, looks like. Or did I not save? Oh, I didn't save it. Control V. Konnichiwa. Match found. Guys, that's the first time. That is the first time that this actually worked from end to end. That is awesome. So basically, I would like to change this to where, like, maybe, yeah, probably like here will be the result. And then here will be like what we're listening for. And then here will be like a definition, like a little description in English about what this word is. So, like, this is hello in Japanese. This is the standard hello. And then this is a formal hello. And this is an informal hello and stuff like that. But anyway, so I think we've proven that it will work, that everything works. Like that we are functionally complete at this point. Like all the functionality exists. Now we're just trying to move data around and format things and all that. So that's great. I would definitely call this done. I liked how I was making like little issues and then sort of accomplishing the issues and then creating a branch and then pushing it out and then merging it and all that stuff. But I think since the end is in view, I think I'm gonna just stay in this branch and just keep working until it's done. Um, Technically, functionally done. And then like it kind of seems like we're going to be functionally done probably by the end of June would be my guess, maybe the end of July. And then at that point, for the rest of the year, it's all going to be about just trying to add new languages and new words and stuff like that. Um, but at this point, I think it is officially working. We can do everything. So, and then the general idea is that like for a language that I don't have any information for, like if you just add the language in, then we will probably like it'll be blank except for this, except for the one row where you can type in what you want. Um, and then if it is, if I have some stuff like so hello, hi, and hey for English, then or for a given language, then it'll render the ones that it knows that it's aware of, and then it'll leave that. It is 1:23, so I gots to go. Happy coding, everybody. Have a wonderful day. Bye.